I am now going to show you and how are we going to add records into our MySQL database. Okay, so everything that we have done in the past few videos is to retrieve records from our database. Okay, so how about if ever we are going to add records into our database? Okay, so from our Next.js application, so we are going to ask the user to input for data. Then we are going to send that into our API and save it into our database. So what we are going to do here is we are going to add records into our TBL users. Okay, so we are going to let a user to register. We're going to have here a link, okay, for our registration. Okay, so since we are going to create a link, we're going to use a link, so we are going to import our link component from next link. Okay, then below the button we are going to add, okay, I'm going to have a BR, then link href is equal to I'm going to have register. So I'm going to create a page for register. Okay, no account yet. Register here. Okay, save. Okay, save it there. No account yet. Register here. So click. So we don't have. It's still for all four because we don't have a register page yet. Okay, so we are now going to create a register page from. Okay, I'm going to create here a folder named register, then a page that JS file. Okay, then RAFC register. Okay, so we are just going to get we're going to let the user to enter for a username, password, and a full name. Okay, then we're going to save it here. So first, I'm going to show you in our API, in our contacts.php. So we are going to create here a function. I'm going to have here save. I'm just going to have, okay, save. Okay, then a JSON for the username and others. Okay, so we're going to have username. Let us say we talk. Password 12345. No. And full name. Ito. Okay. So this will be the format of our JSON. Okay, for our JSON data. It's because we are going to get only the username, password, and the full name. So I'm just going to copy now. Okay. Save. Okay, so decode. We're going to get the JSON, but instead of we're going to have a select statement, so we're going to have here insert into TBL. No, it is not the contact. It would be should be on our user. Okay, so I'm just going to cut them. So we're going to have them in our user because like that we are dealing with the user. So therefore, I'm going to use here our user. Okay, so insert into TBL users. Then we have USR username, password, and USR full name. Full name. Okay. then values. So what are the values? So we're going to ask the user for username, password, and full name. Okay, so this now our skill statement. So insert into, we have the username, then the value would be username, password for the password, and full name for the full name. Okay, prepare, then we're going to have some parameter binding here. So we're going to have the username, password, and the full name. So I'm just going to copy. Okay, so we're going to get username, then the password, and the full name. Okay. Now, we are not going to fetch any records in this function. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to check if the insert has been successful or not. Okay, so how are we going to determine if ever it is successful? So we are going to use a validation here. If statement, then row count, okay, is greater than 0, meaning one row has been affected or 0 has been affected. So if ever 1, so therefore that means it is successful. Take note, 1 means successful. Okay, but if ever it is 0, meaning failed. Okay, so this would be the values that we are going to return into our JS. Okay, so that is why here I'm going to have the return value is equal to 1. Here we're going to have the return value is equal to 0. Okay, now since we have this old format of the if, okay, so or the long format of the if, so we could actually shorten this one here. Okay, so instead of trying to use the if, I'm going to have still an if. Okay, return value is equal to, we have our condition, and if ever it is true, then we're going to return 1. If ever it is false, we're going to return 0. Okay, so this if statement here, structure here, is just actually the same with the one that we have here. Okay, so instead that we're going to use how many lines, so we're going to use a single line. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the if. Okay, so and then we have here, we are going to add a condition into our switch statement. Case, we're going to have save. I'm just going to call it save. Then I'm going to echo or display user, then save, and pass the JSON value. Then break. Okay, save is actually, we have this one here. Okay, so save. Now I'm going to check by using now our this one here. So we are going to use users.php. Okay, then I'm not, instead of we're going to have, okay, we have still a problem here. Where are the values of username, password, and the full names? I'm going to get them here. Okay, now we are sending data here, and we are going to save it into our database. So therefore, instead that we are going to have the get, okay, so you could see here, It's decoded. Username. Okay, here we are now going to use the post. Okay, so because the method that we're going to use, by the way, into our JS would be post. Okay, why? It is because we are going to save or insert a record into our database. Okay, so anyway, we don't need to have them anymore here because we have already set or get the record from here into our super global post. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here. So instead of get, we are now going to use post. Okay, instead of we're going to use params, we're going to use our body. Okay, so then we're going to have form data. Okay, still we're going to have our operation, and as I have it there, so we're going to use save. Then for the JSON, okay, so we are going to use username. Let us say I'm going to have a username haso wait hasulan. Okay, then comma, then password. I'm just going to have 1 2 3, and for the last is we are going to have the full name, May Hasulan. Okay, so hopefully we have no typographical error here. So I'm now going to send this data here. So we're going to expect either 1 or 0 for the return value if we have no error. Okay, send. Oh, we have an error. Okay, column cannot be null. Oh, username. Username. Okay, wait. So post JSON username. Okay, wait. I'm going to display. Okay, I don't know what's the value of my JSON, so I'm going to echo my JSON. Then die. Okay, send. Oh, we don't have a value for our JSON. Post users save. Okay. Oh, we have it here. Operation is save case. It is save. Operation. Oh, I guess this is our error. Hasulan. Oh, should be double quote. Okay, try again. Okay. Array to string. Wait, I'm going to check first if we have. Okay, so we have here our JSON. Okay, so the problem a while ago is we have I used single quote for my strings here. Okay, so we have now a value for our JSON, so therefore I'm going to remove that, then save. Then again, I'm going to send, then I should get here either 1 or 0. send. Okay, so we have a value of 0, so therefore it is successful. So we're going to check if we have the new record. Okay, so we have now hasulan here. Okay, so we don't have a problem now with our uh, database. Oh no, with our API. So now we're going to go to our uh, JS. Okay, so we're going to modify our page.js. Okay, so we have here registers. I'm just going to use here a fragment. Okay, that's one. Okay, so that it would be faster, so I'm just going to copy username, password, then save. Okay, save here for our username, then we have the password, and last we're going to have our uh, full name. Okay, type is equal to text. Full name, set full name. Value is full name. Okay, then we are going to import use state from React. Then we are going to create, so I'm just so that it will be faster, so I'm going to copy this one here, username, and for our password. And the last is we're going to have the full name and the set full name. Okay, then we're going to have the button on click is equal to, we're going to have save or submit, and on click we're going to have submit. But anyway, I'm going to create first here const submit, save, okay, so again we have use client. Okay, so here now the username, password, and the full name. So when the user clicks on submit, it is going to display here a message, an alert box to determine if the user has successfully registered or not. Okay, so again we are going to use here, we're going to use Axios for our from Axios. Okay, so next is we're going to have the routine for submit. So we have now, let us assume we have now the value for the username, password, and the full name. So what we're going to do next is we are going to we're going to set our URL. So we'll do localhost slash contacts-api slash users.php. Okay. Then next, since we are not going to use here a parameter, so as you could see here with our postman, we used here a form data. Okay, so it is different. It is a different object from our parameters when we are using get. Okay, so here, instead that we are going to have the parameters or the JSON here, I'm going to define a form data. Okay. Oh no, still we're going to have our uh, what's we call this, our JSON data, but then instead of params, we're going to use our JSON, uh, our form data. So how are we going to use Axios? Okay, so again, we have response is equal to, now I can have here Axios, then the parameters. Okay, so first is I'm going to have the URL. So I have defined there our URL. Then we have the method. By this time, we're going to use post. Okay, and the data, we're going to use the form data. Okay, so I'm going to have here form data. But anyway, we are going to create first our form data. Okay, so I'm going to have here const form data. Okay, is equal to new object of form data. Okay, then form data that append. Okay, for the field is going to have by the way, we have again, first is we have our operation, and our operation here is we're going to have our save. Okay, then another one here, form data that append, then we're going to have our JSON, and we're going to have our JSON data. Okay, but we don't have still our JSON data, so therefore we're going to create here const JSON data is equal to, okay, we are going to have our username with the username there, then password and the full name. Okay, then I guess we're going to still going to have here our JSON that stringify our JSON data. Okay, so hopefully I got it right. Then next is, okay, I'm going to display then console.log, then my response dot data. I'm going to check if ever, no, we're going to go it, we're going to validate it directly. If response.data is equal to 1, then alert, you have successfully registered. Then else, still we're going to have alert, registration failed. Okay. By the way, again we're going to have here our await and async. Okay, I'm going to try save, then username Kamala. Okay, the new aspiring president for the US. Then for the password 12345 Kamala Harris. Okay, submit. Hopefully we don't have any error. Okay, you have successfully registered. Okay, so how are we going to test? Aside from looking at our database, if Kamala Harris has been registered, we're going to go back to our login. Okay, we have here Kamala, then 12345 login. So contacts of Kamala Harris. So therefore, we have successfully registered. Okay. So what are the new things to consider here? First, the way we have formed our JSON. Okay, by the way, the JSON data is the same, URL is the same, okay, except that instead of we're going to use a params object, okay, we are using here a form data. Okay, then we use here post to send our data into our server. Okay, then just validated if the return value is 1, then successful, and else we're going to have a registration failure. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.